I've been wrestling with these ideas for a couple of years, 3 or 4 or 5 years now, and reading the conversation made me think about it more. We know it's all scripted, but because we're in the script, we fight for certain things. We fight for the gospel. If you're saved, you want to be Republican. If you're in America, you're going to vote Republican if you're saved, really, because it's the closest. We know the Republicans are not perfect, and we know the red and blue, the Democrat versus the Republicans are the red versus blue, but we know the Republicans are closest to the truth. So there's, just like with Alex Jones, we know Alex Jones could be a puppet. He might be real. Only God knows. But it looks like they can't take him out. Alex Jones they took him to court. They took him, tried to steal his business, tried to steal his house, his property, and things he just keeps going, And that's the truth. He says he's a believer. I don't know if he is or not, but he's got his foot in the world. But we're in the world, but not of the world. But as whatever situation we're in, on a job, a marriage, or a state, a country, or whatever, you want conservative beliefs. When Google was trying to censor us, and still do, we were mad. We went to other platforms. We got upset and got mad. And I think Google tried to kind of wake up. I don't know if they did or not. But with them seeing what happened with Elon, so it looks to me like Elon's the Antichrist in a way, but at the same time, he is fighting for free speech with buying Twitter. And he's saying things that makes the left upset. And so we see some people on social media, in the news, in politics, they look like they're puppets. But at the same time, they're saying the right thing. We don't worship any human, but we know when the left was hanging that, doing these caricatures about Trump's head and cutting it off and all that stuff, we know that's sick. And the right side didn't fight back. Calling Trump a racist and calling him all these names, and he's not. He's not. They make somebody who's wanting to stand. I mean, you have to admit, yeah, Trump did print $2 trillion and cause deflation. But he did put some good judges in place that really created a real serious flow, of truth, and righteousness. So when you read the Bible, you see there's prophets that lived out in the woods, like John the Baptist and all. There's some people that lived in the cities and fought against the unrighteousness. Now, when it comes to who's playing a script and who's not, this is maybe it's not, maybe it is, but for me, I've been trying to figure it out for a long time. What is the gray area? Where's the gray area? Do they know they're playing a script, or is God just pushing them in that script? Is the deep state controlling both sides, or is it the devil's kids versus God's kids? Not everybody is going to be, is not really going to be clear, because only God looks at the heart. Is America staged? Yes. Is China staged? Yes. Is Russia staged? It's all staged. But at the same time, whatever country we are in, we fight for that political party who's closest to the Bible. We know the Republicans are greedy and they're selfish and do some wrong stuff, and they cause a lot of trouble, but they're the closest, you know. And we know if somebody was just a born again, independent, and was saying the same stuff Trump was saying, but was not a billionaire, and was not that person wouldn't be voted in. But since we've got somebody who's putting good judges in, we've got somebody who seems to be wanting to put America first instead of sacrificing our people for other countries, you know. Which we want to support other countries, don't get me wrong. We love our neighbor. But because America is a Bible nation, that's how it started. If it did start that way, Freemasons took it over, you know, who knows who knows if the history is even true. And so when you go down all these rabbit holes, is the history even true? Is the Republican and Democrat just playing two sides, the red versus blue psyop, which it looks like it is. But then you got some people that have done some good things and spoke some good things. And there's sometimes that God allows the script to play out to reveal who are the evil ones. And when somebody holds somebody's head up to cut it off, that's what they did to John the Baptist. So they're always trying to cut off somebody's head who speaks truth or righteousness or stands for the people who speak truth. Look, without a vision, the people perish. Whether this is all scripted, whether it was real, whether it was fake, it was wrong. It sounds like it was the CIA doing a MK Ultra mind control on this dude who was probably Antifa. But you see he's tied to BlackRock somehow or another. So he's in a BlackRock commercial. They probably promised him the world and then probably played mind games on him and tried to pull him into psychopathy or sociopath, and looks like they did a good job. And then somebody say, oh, it's not even him. Irregardless, whatever it is, whatever's going on, we'll never probably know the truth, just like JF Kennedy. Unless somebody, there's videos of people on the ground with their phone showing the guy and pointing and screaming, hey, he's on the roof, and the sharpshooter didn't do anything. And then there's another video saying that the sharpshooter got fired because he told everybody that he took the shot even when they told him not to. Who knows if that's real? So it goes back to what's real. The only thing I know that's real is Jesus saves. And I'm going to vote Republican, whether it's scripted or not scripted. I'm going to vote Republican because Republicans are the closest thing to the Bible that I can find that's popular. I would rather a Republican be in there than a Democrat. And I know that every year, every 4 years, every 8 years, they put Democrats, then they put Republicans, and they put Democrats. And we know people vote, but is that even real? You know, the God of this world is the devil. It's almost like you're watching a theater. Are these actors put in place? Do they really believe that they're independent of outside influence? Who allowed Trump to be a billionaire? Did he do it in his own? Was it predetermined? Was it scripted? Did God do it? Who knows? He's rallying the Christians, and I've seen a lot of people move from the left to the right to believing in God, whether they're born again or not, I don't know. But I see people moving towards the right, because the right is right, the left is wrong. And so we all are having to move towards what we really believe is going on, and we might disagree. But we can agree on one thing: Jesus alone saves, and whoever is in politics, if it's if they're telling the truth, God's going to protect them. And it looks like, I don't know, two people died and one got shot in the ear. So it looks like it was, it's hard to say. After you hear everybody's side, it's like, okay, what is real? I mean, I tell people we're in a simulation and it's all scripted, but each individual has a obligation to choose a side. It's almost like we know it's scripted, but whether it's me or you or Trump or Candace Owen, we all have to choose a side. And maybe all this is happening because God is separating the sheep from the goat, whether it's real or not. It could be a drama. It's like watching a TV show or something. Let's look at it from let's look at it from both perspectives. If it's a drama, if it's fake, it's like watching a movie on a TV show. And let's say somebody says, I want you to watch this movie and pick a side. Do you want righteousness or do you want lawlessness? Do you support people shooting people or do you support this? If it's a script, it's put in front of you like a movie to divide the sheep from the goat. If it's just happening organically, which I don't think anything's organic, but if the people are organic, but the people behind them that are pulling the strings, so this president, this senator, this talk show host, whether it's Alex Jones, whether it's Louis Farrakhan, whether it's Trump, whoever it is, are they actors? But even if they're not, let's say they're acting according to what they believe is the right way, but who led them in that belief? And it goes all the way back to 1776. It goes back to the so you could have a person who really believes what they're doing, who's still an actor in the script, or you could have a person who's just an actor for whatever reason, but it's still the good versus the bad playing out, and you got to make a choice. You got to make a choice. You got to make a choice. Are you going to stand for what's right or what's evil? And so it's all, to me, the whole thing is scripted. But I know they're real people. They're real people. They might be NPCs if they're on the left, but they're still a soul, and you still want to get them saved. And once they get saved, then they can start to slowly move to seeing the truth. And so whether the person is a pure actor and it was scripted, or whether the person really believes what they're doing, is still a movie playing out to get you to choose what's right or what's wrong, which side you're going to choose. And this is happening not just in politics. It's happening in everyday life at work. It's happening, there's situations that come up in your life that you caught between a rock and a hard place. Do you stand for what's right and get fired, or do you stand for what's wrong and get a raise? And so that's the way I see it. I don't have the answer. It's one or the other. It might be a third option, but it looks to me like it's scripted in the spirit realm, and each person is playing their script. If they know they're in the script and they can't escape it, because I've talked to a few people where they know that these choices are being made for us, whether we like it or not. If you're in China and you're a citizen in China, us looking from the outside in, we know the Chinese leadership's all liars. They're all scripted. But the Chinese people, they're going to fight each other to put this one in office. But we know behind the president is another group. And we know behind that group is a spiritual warfare. And so there's a lot, it's like a chess game in the spirit realm, but it's also a chess game in the natural. And these people, whether they know they're an actor or whether they don't know they're an actor and they're serious or not, they're part of the program to get you to choose good or evil. And it's happening not just in politics, it's happening every day in your home, in your neighborhood, in your own heart. And it's a separation of the sheep and the goats. And so any kind of argument about, is it all scripted? At the highest level, yeah, it's all scripted. And me, you, Donald Trump, Alex Jones, Candace Owen, we have is something built in our personality. We're going to go this path because God called us. And so whoever it is, or whatever it is, God has a calling on their life inside this Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner script to get you to choose which side, you know. So there's no reason to fight. Once you step out and you see, people have to look from different angles and different sides, because the fact that it's multidimensional, spiritual, demonic side. There's a demonic script being played out. There's God's script being played out. There's all kinds of scripts at a higher realm. And then you got the deep state script. You got the corporate script. You got Trump trying to, says he's trying to do this for the people. At the same time, why did he allow the vaccines? Why did he print $2 trillion? And he's hearing, no human being can make all the right choices, especially for a whole country. So all these people are influenced. We need to do this. We need to do this. Okay, let's do it. And whether it's going to war or whatever, sometimes we have to make choices that might look bad to somebody else, but it's the only choice we can make. And it could all just be in our own, and then some people believe it's all in your own mind, it's all playing out from you. You're like your own universe, and it's just all playing out. The whole thing could be fake, you know. There's multi-dimensional possibilities, and especially, I tell people, I spent 1 year where Snickers candy bars didn't have nuts. And I went to the store, where's the Snickers with the nut? And they said they don't have any. Snickers have never had nuts in them. A year later, they show back up. Parallel universe, or whatever you want to call it, that really happened, people. I experienced that for a year. I experienced that. I know I did, but it sounds crazy. So what's going on? I don't know, but I'm going to vote Republican. It doesn't matter if it's Trump or if it's, even if Alex Jones ran for president, I would vote, and he was Republican, I'd vote for him. I'm always going to vote Republican because if you talk to the average Republican, they're conservative in their beliefs. You talk to the average leftist Democrat, they're leftist, and they believe in killing babies and all that stuff. So they're anti-Bible. So there's a war going on, whether it's scripted or not. It's to get you to make the decision which side you're going to choose, you know.